Real estate investing strategies have been utilized to diversify portfolios, boost cash flow, and accumulate wealth for generations. The beauty of purchasing your first rental property is that you will soon join a long line of others on the path of retirement savings, investing goals, and ultimately, financial success. Finding the right property, on the other hand, is crucial. You should keep in mind that not every property you look at will make a decent rental. To maximize your returns, you'll need the ideal combination of demand and location. However, before you can take advantage of the latter, you must first master these 12 steps to purchasing your first rental property. Welcome to Gray Skies Media, and we're here to help you invest in your future. Please, do us a favor and hit that like and subscribe buttons for more content like this. Step 1. Prepare. The first step to buying your first rental property is to prepare and understand what being a landlord entails, as well as how you will finance the property. Will you buy a multifamily property and live in one unit? Will you buy with cash or a loan? What is your price point? Do you want to purchase a single-family home, duplex, or apartment complex? Will you manage it yourself or hire a property manager? How are you going to obtain your down payment? If you plan on financing, check your credit score. Make sure you have a good enough score to qualify for a loan. Also make sure that you have enough saved to cover closing costs and any repairs needed on the properties, as well as maintenance and tenant vacancies. Step 2. Decide on financing. Choosing the best way to finance your first rental property comes down to what you want to do with it. Do you want to make money every month, or do you want your investment to go up in value over time? Your return will be affected by the type of financing you use. For example, if your mortgage payment is higher each month, your cash flow will be lower. The good news is that if you do your research and buy a rental in a growing market, you can count both positive cash flow and long-term appreciation. The value of most real estate usually goes up over time, which is another great thing about it. The longer you keep your rental property, the more it appreciates. And because inflation causes rents to go up over time, your monthly cash flow should also go up. Step 3. Get PreQualified. A pre-approval is not to be confused with a pre-qualification. A pre-qualification just tells you how much money you might be eligible for. It's not as strong as a formal application. Your financial information is required for a pre-approval, so that the mortgage provider can give you a solution that is tailored to your needs. Pre-approval entails a hard credit pull, as well as a verification of income and assets, whereas pre-qualification just looks at your credit and your estimated income and assets. Step 4. Choose your location. So, now that you've determined your budget, financing, and desired house type, where do you want to buy? You can select a place based on your pricing range and whether you want to buy locally or elsewhere. It's good to find your first deal close to home, or at the very least within an hour or two. Technology makes research simple. You can go to Realtor.com or Zillow.com and begin looking at different places to get a sense of what prices are like. Get a sense of where the prices are greater and where they're lower. Look for the following indicators of a thriving real estate market as part of this approach. Look for indicators of employment creation, population growth, and initiatives to revitalize the city. What are the vacancy rates in your area? You want to make sure you're investing in a place where people want to be, not one that they want to avoid. There are always articles online ranking the best places to invest in real estate and providing market summaries. Step 5. Neighborhood analysis. Now, as part of your research, it will be your job to look into the actual neighborhoods within these markets. You'll want to consider a couple of things. Are you looking for areas with retirement communities? A type of school district? Are the residents mostly renters or do they own? Crime rate, and etc. Knowing the type of area you want and your budget will help you target neighborhoods. You've probably heard in real estate that it's all about location, location, location. It's true for some real estate investors looking at rental properties too, though it's more important to be driven more by the numbers rather than your attachment to a particular neighborhood. Step 6. Analyze properties. Knowing how to analyze a rental property is absolutely critical to help ensure the property you choose will meet your investment goals. You need to know exactly how much the property will cost you each month, how much you'll pay for insurance, water, electricity, gas, lawn care, HOA, garbage, property taxes, and etc. You want to know what your monthly cash flow will be, how much you'll get in rental income minus expenses, what's your profit each month. At minimum, it should be a couple $100 per month. One guideline to use is the 2% rule of thumb. It reasons that if your rent is 2% of the purchase price, you're more likely to generate positive cash flow. You also need to analyze your cash-on-cash return, which is the return your money made in a year compared to how much you invested. In general, most experts agree that between 8 to 12% is a good cash return. Step 7. Search for properties. So, now it's time to start looking for the properties. For newbies, using a real estate agent is going to be your best option. Find an agent who understands the investment side of real estate and have them set you up with automatic emails based on what you're looking for. Not all that come your way will actually be a good fit, so look at each one that comes in, throw away the ones you don't want, and investigate the ones with potential. Step 8. Analyze deals. Once you start receiving potential properties that meet your criteria, you'll need to start analyzing them. Analyze and compare them. Run them through your calculator until you find the property that will work for you. Identify if the rents will offset your expenses enough to generate cash flow. Properties with existing tenants are often below the market rate. You'll want to know the current income from the properties and all the expenses to make an informed decision. Step 9. Make your offer. This is the exciting part. Once you find a property you like, your realtor will help you prepare the offer and negotiate with the seller. If you don't get the property, it's disappointing. Yes. But hey, it's not the end of the world. There are always more properties. Keep searching, analyzing, and make another offer. Once you have an accepted offer, you'll have to pay an earnest deposit, which is typically about 1% of the price. The earnest money provides some security to the seller that you won't back out on the deal with no merit. The money that goes towards your down payment is refundable if you do back out for legitimate reasons, such as it doesn't appraise or the inspection found things you don't want to deal with or can't afford to fix. Step 10. Due diligence. Due diligence includes a property inspection, picking a title company, getting an appraisal, and sometimes a pest inspection is required. You'll want to secure insurance on the property. Finally, once you get through all these steps, you and the seller will sign the contract documents. You'll wire your down payment, you'll have the bank wire their money to the seller or the seller's bank, and you now own your first rental property. During the due diligence period, it's a good idea to line up a property manager, if that's the route to take, as well as familiarize yourself with understanding local landlord-tenant laws. These laws can also impact how you handle rental security deposits, screen tenants, and evictions. By regularly checking your local laws and any changes that directly impact the rental industry, you can avoid any lawsuits or violation of any renter's rights. If you have a property manager, they will handle these on your behalf. Step 11. Manage the property. Even if you have a property manager, you will not be completely off the hook for decisions regarding the property. You'll also need to make sure the property manager is doing their job, so make sure you find a reputable one. Expect to pay about 10% of the monthly rent for their fee. If things break in the property, they'll still inform you of the cost to replace. And in the case of these expenditures, they deduct the expenses from your next rent payment. If you have chosen to manage the property yourself, you'll save the fee, but you will be responsible for the repairs and maintenance yourself, whether that means you physically do the work yourself or find the contractors who will. Step 12. Treat your rental like a business. Because it is. You will have to track income and all expenses. You can either track on a simple Excel spreadsheet or invest in a software tool. It's important to keep accurate records, as you'll need this not only to understand your profit, but to report it on your taxes. You should also open a separate checking account and have the rents paid to that account and pay expenses. Also, you should formalize with a business license and create an LLC in case of a lawsuit and for any tax advantages it can offer you. Consult with an accountant for advice on this one. Purchasing your first rental property is a significant step toward building a cash-flowing rental portfolio. Investors can collect rent passively if they have numerous properties earning rental revenue. But it all starts with purchasing your first rental property. It's worth noting, though, that the initial rental property will set the tone for the rest of the process. Start off on the right foot with these ideas and make your first rental property the best investment decision you've ever made. What do you think about the video? Please let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Click on that bell icon so you never miss an upload. See you in the next one.